What's going on, everybody? We're back here for the NFL preseason week 2. We've got 3 games going here tonight. We're going to start breaking these down. We're going to go game by game this time around. Since it's only 3 games, we can kind of break down each game individually. How's it going tonight, Bruce? What's going on, man?
Going great. Just walked around town and just kind of winding down with some good preseason NFL research.
Absolutely. Kurt, what's going on with you here tonight, man?
Just watching the end of this round, got a little mini sweat. Hopefully Taylor Prentice can bring it home for me. But I was able to kind of take a minute away and dive into this preseason, ready to make it 5 out of 6 days, 6 out of 7 days profit. Let's keep it going.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So it's we've got 3 games here tonight. We'll just kind of go game by game. I think though it's going to be kind of pretty much basically the plays are kind of out in the open for us, mainly for the main guys. I think the cash game plays will be pretty well present. It'll be interesting. We can go some interesting ways here for tournaments and such like normal. So, we could jump into this first game. We've got Carolina versus the Patriots. The Patriots are going to play some starters here. The spread's all the way up to 6 right now. The over-under is 39 in this game. What's catching your eye here in this first game here, Bruce? What are you looking to target in this matchup?
Just looking at Carolina here. Looking at the running backs, they're kind of short. I don't hate like a Chuba Hubbard. I think he's going to be a little popular this evening. I like how Carolina kind of used their practices against the Patriots, to play their starters there. I also don't hate a Derek Wright at wide receiver. I think he'll be kind of sneaky tonight too. I'm going to sprinkle him in some GPPs.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds good. Kurt, what are you doing here for this first game? What are you looking to target here? How are you going to attack this game?
I like the 2 Carolina quarterbacks. One half each for them. Phillip Walker, been around everywhere. The guy's a veteran. He can score. He can rush, stuff like that. Very light on Matt Corral, but if you're 115, I think you should have a sprinkle because they have 2 quarterbacks. The guy does have rushing upside. I'd set a rule for 1 Carolina running back because it looks like they're going to have only 4. And Hubbard had 20-ish snaps last week. I could definitely see that going up a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy on him, but I do think he can find the end zone here. Foreman, Brown, Lovett, I sprinkled a little bit of all of them in my 150. Patriots, it's hard to tell what they're going to do at running back. I think I have a little bit of Strong and Harris, but I am scared about how many snaps these starters get as far as Harris and Stevenson go. And God forbid if we see Montgomery's corpse on the field, I'm going to scream. Receivers, I'm not really touching any receivers here besides Lil Jordan. And on the Carolina side, none for me because I got way too many other places to find receivers at.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me in this game, it's going to mainly be maybe PJ Walker a little bit in some tournaments. I think he's going to play the first and third quarter. It sounds like they're going to split snaps between him and Matt Corral. Matt Corral's been pretty mistake prone, but I don't think I'll get to him. I like PJ Walker for sure. I think Chuba makes for an interesting tournament play also there. You should see, I think, right around 10 to 15 snaps or so. He played 16 snaps last week, so I think he'll be like somewhere right around that role again, 15 snaps or so, maybe a little bit more even this week. He's definitely got that upside that we saw from him last year. Not really on any of the receivers for Carolina. I do like Scott. He had 3 targets last week. The tight end position is pretty bad tonight, so I think I could get to some Scott at tight end. He had 3 targets last night, which that's pretty good for this slate. I think the tight end position is looking pretty brutal tonight from my perspective. For the New England side, maybe some Bailey Zappi in tournaments. I think he'll play the whole second half, but he was electric in college at times. Running backs, I'll probably be off of the Patriots running backs. For receivers, I could go to some Lil Jordan. He had eight targets last week, 6 catches, 62 yards, and a touchdown. And then Nixon had 8 targets last week as well, 4 catches for 81 yards. So I think both those guys are interesting for tournaments. They're not like any of my top targets at the wide receiver position, but definitely will be in the pool for me for sure. There. Any final thoughts for you on this game, Bruce, as we head into the next one?
Yeah, I like to target like position battles. So if someone's fighting for that last spot, a couple guys on the Patriots I'm looking at here that kind of fit that bill are Pierre Strong. He looked good last week when he played, and supposedly him and Ty Montgomery are fighting for that last spot. So I do like that spot for him. And you already mentioned the two receivers. Nixon and Humphrey that are fighting for that last receiver spot as well. One guy to possibly sprinkle in is possibly a Taekwon Thornton. He's looked great in practice supposedly, so I don't know if he's too good yet or not, but he's someone that can make a big play or two.
Do you think I'm just looking at some news here? Kristen Wilkinson's going to be out this week as well. I mean, he was a huge play for us last week. He smashed. He had 46 snaps last week. I think that's going to even lead to some more work for some of these Patriots receivers. Don't you think so?
Yeah, and the starters shouldn't get too much run after those guys get out of there. I think we see a lot of Nixon and Little Jordan playing in there. Wilkerson got a concussion after some fighting. There's been a lot of fighting between these two teams so far this week.
Yeah. Kurt, any final thoughts for you on this game here with the Patriots, a 6-point home favorite here?
Yeah, I'm going to just look at the depth chart. I think I'm going to have to go add a little bit. I have 6 handbills to do, but I'm definitely going to have Nixon in there and Hammond sprinkle because New England's only going to have like 4 receivers after the starters come out. As far as tight ends go, I really like Devin Asiasi, the guy from UCLA that was good to us in college. He's going to be my tight end, kind of go overweight on, even though none of these guys I really have true belief in. And I love the Patriots defense. Favorite defense of the night.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the Patriots defense there too. Big home favorite. They're going to see the starters. Matt Krause, very high mistake prone guy. So I'm going to be locking in the Patriots. I like to do that on the preseason. I mean, the defense is so tough in preseason, so I just try to find one defense and just lock them in and hope I hit it right. It worked out last week on a couple of slates. We had the Broncos, and then I can't remember who the other one was, but I wasn't on the Browns. I was not on the Browns the night they scored 21, and that was pretty crazy. But that's just how high variant the defenses is, especially in a preseason. So I think I'm just going to lock in the Patriots and move on. I mean, they're still different pricing, so I think that's my strategy. Bruce, you going to play the Patriots defense quite a bit tonight, or what's your plan there?
Yeah, they're probably my second favorite. Did we all see Ian Book play last week?
Yeah.
And then KJ Costello comes in after him.
Oh, dear God.
He might be worse. So
Definitely.
I kind of like Green Bay also.
Yep.
That's probably my number one, and then New England right behind him.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely pretty much in lockstep with you then there. I'm going to go Patriots, but if I was going to play another one, it'd definitely be the Packers, which we can kind of transition into that game right now. We've got the Green Bay Packers, a 2.5-point home favorite against the New Orleans Saints and Ian Book. 38 is the total in this game. It's been kind of crazy, at least in the first preseason week. A lot of these overs were hitting. Last night we saw the over hit again. It'll be interesting. They started posting some of these overs a little higher, and they took a lot of sharp action early in the week. So it'll be interesting to see what these totals do. That poor guy I seen on Twitter, some poor soldier out there had 100,000 on the under, and they scored that touchdown like right at the end of the game to go over. So that's a rough scene for that guy. But Bruce, what are you looking at here in this Saints and Packers game? Are you going to go back to your guy Ian Book? I know we were on him some last week, as well as he got what was he? I guess I don't have it right there. He was 15 for 22 for 121 yards last week. What's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think it's rough just because there's news that KJ Costello could get some run in the second half as well. I don't hate going back to him because he does have upside running the football. But yeah, it's a little scary. I think I'd rather play the Green Bay defense, but yeah, I don't mind sprinkling in Book in GPPs if because he could score 2 touchdowns on the ground. He had that upside in college for sure. Yeah,
for sure. Kurt, any thoughts on Ian Book for you here? We can kind of break this down a little bit at a time. Any thoughts for you on Ian Book here, or the quarterbacks in this game for you?
Yeah, so Ian Book and Jordan Love are my two most exposed. I think I'm gonna be real, like preseason, so you're kind of picking hairs here, but I'm playing Book just to troll people. He made everyone so mad last week. I think it'd be funny if he just has like a rushing touchdown or something and gets to like 10 points. That's why I'm playing Book, just to troll people. I know he's gonna have great playing time.
Definitely. I'm going to be on Jordan Love quite a bit here. I think he's going to play the full first half. He looked really good last week. He's starting to progress a little better. He's been getting a lot of work in camp too. 13 for 24 for 176 yards last week, 2 touchdowns. He did have some mistakes, so he threw in 3 interceptions last week. So hopefully he's can progress and get a little better there. Definitely on the Packers offense. That's one of my highest stands this week is going to be the Packers offense here. So Jordan Love, I think, is the best quarterback for me this week. So that's where I'm going to be mainly. We've got a very, very special guest coming in here. The one and only Big T is joining the field out. Big T, what's going on tonight, man?
Gotta come see my boys. A little preseason action. Gotta get in the mix here. Anytime I can see Bruce on the nice camera, I gotta come do it.
As well, we just hit on the New England Carolina game as we're just starting to get into the Green Bay one. Do you have any thoughts here on this first game between the Patriots and the Panthers? The Patriots are a big favorite here. They're going to play some starters for the first half, it looks like. Any thoughts from you?
Yeah, I don't see a ton from Carolina outside of quarterback. I mean, you can play both those guys. I think they said they're going to rotate. Are they rotating series or quarters? Whatever it is.
Yeah, Walker's going to play the first and third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, so like if they're like driving, the other dude's going to come in and finish the drive if it's a different quarter.
I'm not sure. Like if they're at the goal line, I wonder what'll happen there.
Point being, I mean, I'm sure they're splitting time close to it. I think you can play both of those guys as lower owned. They both have at least some opportunity to run, but I don't know. I'd still rank some other guys ahead of them. That's it for Carolina, though. I don't really see maybe a tight end that Jared Scott looks.
I kind of like the Scott, yeah.
A little D, but I mean, tight end's so freaking bad that, I mean, you can play any of those guys. And then the New England side, yeah, we don't really know. You never know with Belichick, like how much he's going to play these guys. Little Jordan, I'm always going to have some interest in Little Jordan. Nixon, Hammond, I think their receiver room is pretty light, so that's where I'd go, the receiver. Pierre Strong, we were high on last game. I think you could go back to him at running back, but I don't necessarily love it. So
I think he looked great. Just watching that game,
he almost looked too good, right? Like he looks like a guy that could get some work at times in the regular season. But
they said him and Ty Montgomery are fighting for that last spot.
High as dust. Get him out of the league.
Yeah, well, I always wonder this about teams. Like, if you're like close between two guys, why do they always choose the older guy? Like, bring the younger guy in. At least I assume he's younger. I don't.
Yeah,
it's a draft pick. They're 5th, 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they have draft equity in the guy. Come on.
I actually like receiver tonight, though, because a couple of these teams are shorthanded again, and we can kind of jam those guys in there. New England's one of them, obviously, with Little Jordan.
Yeah, for sure. We've got the one and only Mr. Johnny AirPods with us joining the show as well. Any thoughts from you here on this first game? We just kind of got through the Carolina-New England game before you jumped on.
Well,
any thoughts for you in this game?
Yeah, and before you even talk about it, like what you guys were saying with specifically a running back, you would think, why would you side with the older running back over out of any position in football, running backs who have the shortest lifespan of pretty much any position? Why the hell would you side with the older guy over the young buck? So it makes no sense, especially when you talk about the position. But yeah, I mean, we talk about the Patriots Carolina game real quick.
Yep.
I think that you could play, some of the Patriots guys. The Patriots defense obviously is in play for me. I'm not playing the Carolina quarterbacks. I would play PJ Walker if I had to choose one, but I don't like that they're splitting quarters. Like you guys were talking about, it's kind of weird. Don't know what's happening with that, but I'm just going to fade that situation. I think there are plenty of other spots where you can attack quarterback anyways. I don't need to go there. And then the only thing that I do have interest in, but I think Taekwon Thornton is just really good. Like, again, though, he might be too good. Like that's the issue with someone like him. And they're going to play their starters a little bit, they said. So it does worry me a little because I think he's a fringe guy. Like, I don't think he's the top 3 receiver, but I think he's the 4th one battling the 3rd. Whoever the 3rd guy is, whether it's Bourne or Aguilar, whoever their 3rd receiver is, like, I think he's battling for that 3rd spot. And so it kind of worries me that he could be the fringe. Nixon's probably the better, safer choice. But I think if you're playing in the large field tournaments, you're playing in that, 25K up top on DraftKings or whatever it is for 10 or 15 bucks. I think he's got massive upside. Like, dude just looked uncoverable. When I watched him last week, he literally looked like every time he looked open to me. Like every time he looked like he was getting separation. And when you're seeing receivers just always getting separation, that's huge. So I think he's the most interesting guy for me, but not a lock or anything like that. Tony's going to talk about the receivers that they got like 4 receivers, certain teams. So they're going to be the more popular but for good reason, obviously.
I think these 2 Patriots guys are 3. I mean, Thornton's got huge upside, I think, for tournaments, but we saw Wilkerson play last week. He played 46 snaps, had 12 targets, 8 catches for 99 yards, and he's going to be out this week. He suffered a concussion.
He played the whole game too, Snyder.
Yeah.
Like he played in 4th quarter, he was in there.
Yeah, and now we've got Nixon and Humphreys. They each saw 8 targets last week. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the starters, though, like with Belichick and all. But that's interesting. I think Nixon, Humphrey, and Thornton are interesting for tournaments. I think we kind of hit on that before you guys jumped in. Is that who you're kind of targeting too as well, Big T?
Yeah, I'm not playing Thornton. He's too good. I mean, you guys kind of hit on it. The first game, he was crushing, and then he just came out and didn't play no more. I'm not going to fall. Preseason, we're only, a week and a half in. I'm just going to play these dudes that I think are going to play. No matter how good I'm just not going to play the guys that aren't.
He caught that touchdown, and then that was pretty much like Tony said. It was just like, okay, you did your thing. Now we're taking you out, like type
you
deal.
You just don't need to play them over these other 3. Like, just play the other 3 Patriots guys. You don't need to. Yeah, we all agree Thornton's better, but I don't think you need to play Thornton. Again, like we say on all these shows, any receiver could break the slate, though. So, I mean, in tournaments, they're all in play. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to take some of the guesswork out. I'm just going to play the guys that are going to play more. So
I got a question. So, like, what if he gets some snaps with the starters, which I think is possible?
Yeah, I mean, I think he could. But either way, I don't think he plays a ton, even if he is in there with them.
I'm just saying he's got a better chance, better balls being thrown, better quarterback. I'm just saying, like,
he definitely could. I mean, for sure he should. I mean,
I think he's that good. I think
he could break off a 55-yarder or something to be in there for like a few snaps.
Yeah.
And
I think
part of my problem at receiver is these Rams guys are as you get into the other. I'm just not playing Thornton over one of these guys. These guys are for sure playing the whole game. So, I'm just not – I get it, though. Like, I have 150 teams. Maybe I should play 10% Thornton or something. But outside – I mean, a lot of people tonight are playing, I'm sure, 1 to, 5 teams. If I was playing 1 to 5 teams, I'm not playing Thornton over those guys. It's that simple.
For sure. So we were just starting to get into this Saints-Packers game when you 2 joined us. So we've got the Packers here, a small home favorite, 38's the total. We've got 2 viable quarterbacks here in Jordan Love versus Ian Book. Book was 15 for 22 last week. Love was 13 for 24 last week. Love had 2 touchdowns, 176 yards passing, but he did have those 3 interceptions. Book did not have any touchdowns. Bruce and we already all gave our kind of thoughts on these quarterbacks. I'll roll to you, Big T. Any thoughts on these quarterbacks? And we'll kind of break it down, quarterback, receiver, running back on this game. But any thoughts on the quarterbacks in this game from you?
Yeah, I think, both are definitely in play. Jordan Love, I think he threw 3 picks the last game, but he at least was in an opportunity to score points, which is all we care about in fantasy. We're not trying to find an actual good quarterback. So he had plenty of opportunity. I don't see why tonight would be any different. He's got to be a pretty good play. And Book looked horrendous too. Book looked even worse than Love, but he's going to play a ton too, and he should run. So, I think right there with Perkins for the best quarterback plays of the night. I don't see too much separate. I mean, Perkins, what did he score? 30 fantasy points or something? I know we're
He was
not
up
on
there,
that
yeah.
game, but like
It was like
I don't know,
26 or something like that. It was
which
right
is
around
just
there.
like full nuke in the preseason. And the nice part, well, I'm kind of branching. That's why I always like going positions more than games in these, because like with these receivers from the Rams, it's just so nice to play Perkins. But if I'm not, then it would be Booker Love. I mean, both good plays tonight.
Yeah, sounds good. JSU, any thoughts from you here on the quarterbacks in this game? And then we'll hit the running backs here in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said last show, I think Jordan Love sucks. But like Tony said, it's DFS. And if someone is going to be chucking, that's what you want, right? I mean, he threw 2 touchdowns, he threw 3 picks, but we want someone who's going to be throwing the ball around. I think they want to see him, be aggressive and throw. And that's what you really want. You want that opportunity from your quarterback. So he's definitely in play. I think he's a way better play than Book. I'm just going to call that out right now. I think Jordan Love sucks, and I think Book is way worse than Jordan Love. So that he is definitely out for me. I think for sure quarterback definitely lies with Love or Perkins, and how you want to, who you want to go with, one or the other. I think they're both really good plays, but I got no issues with Jordan Love. I will not be playing Ian Book, though. That's for sure. We're just
you.
No.
Oh God. Book's like by far the best quarterback play, and he's fading him. Oh,
I'm not playing him.
I like Love.
Perkins is the best and he's got the best like receiving options.
My only worry with Perkins though is he does, like, he was locked into playing time last game. I worry a little bit about his time.
I don't think he's going to play as much this game, it sounds, but we'll get into that next.
I mean,
game.
last game, I was
half,
so tilted
right?
last game too, because like freaking whatever the other dude, our shitty dude from K-State, like he messed with my head, and I ended up playing a bunch of him, and then he did good. But I was always on the other side of it. I was always playing freaking Perkins, and then I came off like half of Perkins to play the shitty dude. The shitty dude did good, but then Perkins just full nukes right on his head. Like, just so tilting.
And my boy, what's that kid's name? Lance McCutcheon, or however you say his name. My boy just absolutely nuked core play for JSU on that slate last week. Just throwing that out there, but absolutely nuked. No one had him. It's tough to figure out like these guys when they first come onto the scene, but it's easier now. We got 4 dudes. There's
maybe 3. Maybe 3.
Yeah.
So
I think 3 from the Rams.
Yeah.
And if it's 3, we've seen 3 be on the winner from the same team.
I don't know how you don't play 2 or 3 of those guys. I know we keep branching out on that. I don't know how you don't play 2 or 3. Probably 2 is the number, but you could play 3.
Yeah, so we can jump into the running backs then. Let's hit on the running backs in this game. Now, I think one of them in Goodson is like a clear above the top running back on this slate. He had 12 carries last week, 37 yards, 2 catches in the passing game, and Baylor was second in the team in carries with 7. They waived Baylor, so he's no longer with the team. So I think Goodson's pretty much locked into a lot of playing time here. Then on the other side, we've got AJ Rose. He found the end zone last week. Both Rose and Callis saw 8 carries last week. Rose found the end zone. Callis didn't. Both are right around 20 yards rushing. I think Goodson's definitely my top play at the running back position. Bruce, I'll kick it to you. What are you seeing here with the running back position in this game?
Yeah, I think both of these teams, New Orleans and Green Bay, have good spots for running backs. Both have 3 that look like they're playing. Goodson is probably the top guy there. On the other side, I don't hate like a Tony Jones Jr. He can catch the ball in the backfield as well. And of course, our guy Abram Smith. He's just a big guy.
Is that the terrible dude from Minnesota?
That's the Baylor dude.
Oh, Baylor.
The big.
Who's the terrible Baylor dude guy from Minnesota? What was his name? Had a ton of yards and then got hurt.
Ibrahim.
You're right.
He's back. He's back at Minnesota this year.
I had the wrong.
Yeah. But I think this is the best spot for running backs.
Definitely. Zigbo's there too. Guy out of Nebraska. He had eight carries last week. One catch out of the backfield. Kurt, what are you seeing here from the running back position in this game?
This is where I'm attacking the running backs. I got two rules. I said I want one of these New Orleans Saints running backs, and I want one of the Packers running backs in every single lineup. For New Orleans, you got Jones, Zigbo, and Abraham Smith. I want one of those. And Packers, I want Goodson, Taylor, Williams, but extremely light on Williams and very, very heavy on Goodson, like you all have said. They said they want to treat Goodson as if he's the starting running back in this one, so he's going to get a hefty load. So heavy on him.
Definitely a big T. What's your thoughts?
Hefty load.
You got a hefty load in Goodson here, Big T?
Yeah, I mean, Goodson's there's always the clear plays on the slate. I mean, Goodson's a clear play. I don't feel as confident as you guys the rest of the game, though. I mean, they're like New Orleans has three guys. Green Bay, I mean, two guys besides Goodson. I don't know. Like, I don't mind them. I think you can go to these guys, but I definitely don't like them as much as you guys. Goodson knows a lock for me. I'm definitely going to filter these guys in. Patrick Taylor looks decent. Tony Jones, I didn't look at him, but I do like him, so I'm going to add him back in. I don't like the Abram Smith guy. I just kind of think he sucks. I thought it was a different dude, though, so I had to adjust my mind. I think both of them suck, though, the Minnesota guy too. But I don't know. I'm on Goodson and a little sprinkle of these other guys, but I don't feel good about it.
Zigbo, I mean, he's a guy like just like Bruce said, Jones can catch passes. Zigbo can catch a lot of passes too. If he catches 3 passes,
he's the one I had on my player pool page over the other guys. I like him. I'm just worried that there's 3 of them on both teams.
Smith's going to be like the goal line back, isn't he, Bruce? I mean, he's
like 5'11", 225, something like that. He's a pretty big dude.
Yeah,
but
JSU, any thoughts from you here on the ring back position between these two teams for you, JSU?
Yeah, I mean, I think Goodson and Patrick Taylor on Green Bay are both good plays. I think Goodson's definitely the best, obviously, but Tony Jones Jr., he's got talent. Like, I mean, we're talking about him like he's definitely got talent. I'm playing his ass for sure. Ozigbo's the one I've been going back and forth on, but like Kurt said, he can also catch passes. I think it's a good spot to target the running backs in this game. I'm still trying to get over Tony saying Ian Book is the best play on the fucking slate. I'm still trying to get over
by a mile, too.
By a mile?
Yeah.
A mile, Ian Book?
He's gonna play the most, and he runs. Running's all that matters.
What did he score last time? 4. Okay, he's got 8 in him if he's playing the whole game.
Oh, so that's how this works. We just take what I'll play Perkins then if we just count what happened last game.
He's got a ceiling of 8. Ian Book is so bad. Tony, no.
And freaking Perkins is good.
But he's better.
Perkins is horrendous too. They're all horrendous.
The thing, though, I like with Perkins is I can just play 2 or 3 of his guys and play him with them. Like,
why are we not talking about Wofford? Like, Wofford's going to play the whole first half, and he's going to pass to all these guys, too. I mean, yeah, he's a terrible white guy, but he easily passes 2 tutties.
Kurt, I agree with you. I'll play either of those quarterbacks.
Wofford.
Because I know who's going to be catching the ball. They got 3 dudes. 3 dudes.
JSU's getting us off track again.
No, I'm not.
Come on, Johnny.
Ian,
so we got some good receiving options in this game. I think for the Packers, Romeo Dubes is right there at 7 targets last week, 3 catches, 45 yards, and that 33-yard touchdown. And then we've got Amari Rodgers, who kind of let us down. I mean, he was out there running wind sprints the whole game. Finally caught a pass there at the end, a 22-yard touchdown pass that kind of saved face for him. He's there. I don't think Watson's going to play. Winfrey's there. Toure's an interesting guy. He had 4 targets last week, 3 for 42. I think he's definitely interesting for tournaments. He was a 7th rounder out of Nebraska as well. Hometown guy here. And then for the other team, I don't really see much for the Saints that I'm going to be looking to here for wide receivers. We'll go to you here first, Johnny. JC, who
I like
you liking
that? Take it to Johnny. I like that.
Who you liking that first here in this wide receiver group for this game?
For which game? Sorry, I was
we're still on the Packers.
He deserved it, Johnny. He didn't even know what you were talking about, Snyder. I like that.
I
Give
lost
him to
track.
Johnny.
I'm still floored. I'm looking up Ian Book stuff right now. I'm still floored with this dude. You said is the best
Who
player
do you
on
want
the slate.
Ian Book throwing the ball to here in this game? We've
Oh,
got Ian Book's
jeez.
receivers versus the Packers. Their
Well,
favorite
can I
team's
play
receivers.
Dubes? I want to play some. I like Romeo Dubes, as my guy Snyder likes to say. That dude's. I want to play him, but Book.
He's
doesn't
in the
throw to me,
Thornton
so.
bucket. Don't play
I know.
Dubes. He's too
I
good.
know. He's
He had
too
7
good. I
targets
agree.
last week, but
You know what's funny
Yeah,
is-
he's
what's
going
funny
to
is
get less and less.
How many
He's gonna
times have
make
these
play, and then they're gonna pull him probably.
Yeah, I
That's what's
agree.
gonna happen.
I like
have
Amari
George-
Rodgers better, I think.
George Pickens, Dubes, Thornton, all these good talk receivers have played like 1 or 2 drives and scored. It's not happening today, damn it. It's not happening today.
Yeah.
It
I'm
is
with-
true.
I'm
They
with
kind
Kurt.
of like ran pure and then left. Like
Yeah.
they just got it and then they're done. Like
And they're always
It's kind
so
of
highly
annoying.
owned, too. It's like
on
Kurt.
on New Orleans though, I'm not playing any of these receivers because I'm not playing Book. I think if you're playing Book, you're hoping rushing upside. Like there's a bunch of receivers too. I rather target some of the teams with less receivers, and I'm just not going here. I like the running backs from New Orleans much better. So I'll take the running backs from New Orleans, and I'm fading the passing game.
Yep. Big T, where you at on the wide receivers in this game?
Yeah, super easy for me. Amari Rodgers and Torrey, two Green Bay guys I think are both good plays. Not better than the Rams plays, obviously. Probably not better than the Patriots guys, but still good plays to mix into your teams. I think they're both, especially if you're playing Jordan Love, I think you should play one or even 2 of these guys. And I don't know, they look good. New Orleans is even easier. You're not playing any receivers. Yeah, Ian Book's terrible at throwing the ball. You're not playing receivers. You don't need to correlate though in preseason as much. You just need to, if he runs 1 touchdown and that other slate too was fluky because you had 2 quarterbacks just nuke, and that just doesn't usually happen in the preseason. But yeah, no receivers from New Orleans. Defense you can play from both of these teams. I think they're probably the top two defenses for me. Yeah, that's it for me. The receiver's easy though. Torrey and Rodgers for me.
Yeah, Bruce, what do you like in here from the wide receiver's perspective in this game?
Yeah, just reading some of the practice reports from this week since they did practice against each other. Love had a good connection with Winfrey and Torrey as well. So Winfrey could be kind of sneaky as he kind of let people down last week. So, but he supposedly looked great in practice.
As crazy as it sounds about Winfrey, I think he's too good to play too. Even though he didn't look good last week, he just everything I've read was the same thing Bruce is talking about, where they just like love him. I just can't imagine they would risk him all that much in the preseason game. And he played last year when guys went down. I still remember a few showdowns playing that guy.
Yeah.
If he played last year in big games, he's looked great in the workouts. Like I get scared of those guys. They value their good dudes.
Yeah, he's really damn good. I thought he'd probably get some run, but who knows?
Where did he go to college?
Colorado, I think.
Oh, he was a Colorado guy. I like that.
On the other side, I don't really have interest in these guys because I also am staying away from Book this week.
Oh no, Bruce!
But I do like Kawan Baker from South Alabama. I think he got a good amount of run last week, and he was pretty good in college as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Kurt, any thoughts from you here at the wide receiver position as we close this game out?
Is Kurt on Book? That's what I want to know. Or is he with these donkeys? I mean,
Yeah,
these
I'm
donkeys
with
are
Book.
fading freaking
Of
Book.
course I'm with Book. Any guy
Yeah, of course you are, Kurt. You like
I thought I
winners.
was I'm playing him because he's going to troll people and it's going to be. I'm not playing Book. He sucked. Oh, okay.
Yeah, let him
Okay.
know, Kurt.
I'll play him. But here I'm going. I was really heavy on Winfrey last week. I'm going
Is there a
back.
tree behind you? Is there a tree back in the corner? What is that?
Is that a nice ficus?
What is that?
What
Oh, it's like a
kind of tree is that?
thing.
What is
But-
it? You put ladies up in the holster? Or what is that?
Yeah,
The trapeze? Did the trapeze come out of the ceiling?
you gotta keep it. You gotta keep it fresh. You know, something. I'm going heavy
Yeah, this is
Winfrey.
JSU's week next week. You got to show them how that
Oh.
thing works.
I didn't get the invite. Must have got lost in the mail.
Show them how that trapeze comes out of the ceiling so they can break it in next week.
I'll ship it to you.
Trapeze.
I'll ship it to you, he says.
I did want to hit on a tight end from the Packers. I do think this Josiah DeGuara is a guy in play this week. I mean, the tight end position is a dumpster fire, like Big T had said earlier, but he had 3 targets last week, two catches for 12 yards. But I mean, that might be about the max here on this slate from the tight end position. Any thoughts from you guys on Josiah DeGuara at the tight end position here? Whoever can jump in.
He's my top tight end.
Yeah. Bruce, you like him?
Yeah, he's okay. I think my favorite tight end comes in the next game. But
Bruce is the tight end master. I want to hear who Bruce. I'm playing whoever Bruce gives us.
I like him, and hopefully Canella gets some more run. That's he only got Sal Canella. He was I think he was the leading receiver in the USFL this year.
Really?
Yeah. So, but he didn't get enough snaps last week.
He's played for Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was an Auburn guy.
You like DeGuara?
That's your guy, Sal Canella?
Yeah, he's solid. If he gets more run, I think he got like 10 snaps last week, which there's so many tight ends.
I think tight end's the spot though where like you can gamble a little bit and play like a low-owned guy. So if you got a sneaky guy for us, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I got one.
He catches a touchdown. Game.
Do I love DeGuara as like a chalkier guy? Hell no. Find me a sneaky guy. I'll gamble. I'll play chalk everywhere and gamble on tight end.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially on this slate where there's no one like just clearly sticking out to us. Like
all these blocking guys. Like the blocking guys are the chalk.
Yeah.
Let's just jump into this last game then. We've got the Texans a 2.5-point favorite at the Rams. 38.5 is the total in this game. We're gonna see no starters from the Rams. What's his name? Is definitely not gonna play any starters in this game. Houston, I think, could play some starters here. I think Davis Mills might take some snaps and such.
How come the Rams are not to interrupt you because I keep interrupting? I'm nowhere, but
fine.
How come the Rams are the only smart enough team just to not play guys? Like all these other teams like play them for one series. What the hell is one series gonna do?
Yeah, it's really doing nothing.
Like, just sit your dudes down. Don't get someone hurt for no
Especially
reason.
with all these joint practices. Like, they're becoming so popular. You're getting the reps in the joint practices. Why are you even running them out there?
I literally don't get it. And if you're going to play them 2 series, why not just play them a damn half? Just play them.
I mean,
I don't know.
They're probably not even going full speed, which is where you come in their injuries.
Basic plays on top of it. Like, what are you doing? Just sit them.
And they won the Super Bowl.
And they won the. It's just I just don't get it. I guess like. Anybody that you know for sure is on your team and a contributor, like, why are you playing them? I don't get it.
Yeah, let's hit the quarterback position then here on this game first. We got Walford's going to play the first half, it looks like, and then Perkins is going to come in the second half.
Walford.
Perkins is the guy. He smashed the slate last week, 10 for 17, 133 and 2 through the air, and then added in 8 carries for 39 yards and a rushing touchdown on the ground. I think Perkins will come in lower owned this week just because he's only going to play a half rather than a full game. Bruce, what are your thoughts here on this game at the quarterback position?
Yeah, I still like Perkins. I'll probably have a lot, to be honest. On the Texans side, I don't like too much. I probably won't have any Wolford just because he's just a weird looking dude. He doesn't do too much. He just kind of stands in the pocket. So yeah,
white dude.
Yeah.
Kurt, what are you doing here from the quarterback perspective in this game?
Perkins is my third favorite quarterback of the slate. We got a lot of him. I'm dabbling in some Walford, and it's only because I'm playing so many of the receivers. I don't think he's good, but would I be surprised if he has like a 50-yarder to one of these guys? No, and I'll be happy because it's one of my guys. So I'd sprinkled him a little bit, but I'm a lot more heavy on Perkins.
Oh, for sure. Big T going back to Perkins this week.
Yeah, I like Perkins. Wolford, we don't know how much he's going to play.
Full half.
Yeah, but that's what they say.
Yeah.
But
it might be shorter.
The flip side of that is I just gave the speech about the Rams not risking their guys, and he's clearly their number 2, and he's played in key spots. So, I mean, if this guy comes out and they have a couple good drives, I wouldn't be shocked one bit to see him come out, and that's why I wouldn't play him just because I just don't see it. I don't see him playing a full half, but he could, which limits Perkins just a hair. And yeah, I'm on Perkins though, definitely behind Book, and maybe behind Love for me, but right in there in that range. So I'm on him. And like we said with the receivers, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but these three guys, McCutcheon, Akers, and Trammell, like you just should have two of those guys on all your teams. I mean, bare minimum one. Like, you're just crazy if you don't have one or two of these guys. Three's probably a stretch just because there are some other good plays. And I mean, these teams aren't. Last game they scored a ton. I mean, these teams aren't going to come out and score like 6 touchdowns. So there's only so much to go around. But man, they're going to be on the field a lot, and they're going to be out there. So at least 2 of those guys I'm going to play, maybe even 3. I don't hate that build, but yeah, that's where I'm at there. And as far as Houston, I don't know if I like anybody from Houston. That tight end, I remember that.
There.
Seth Green sucks ass. Royce Freeman's my number 2 running back for sure. Played 62% of the snaps.
Yeah, I like Royce Freeman.
I think he's like clearly my number 2 behind Goodson.
3 catches out of the backfield even.
Yeah, he's going to catch. He's going to run. I just think he's a very, very good play. He's behind those guys ahead of him too, whatever the rookie's name is. And Pierce, I think, is that who's on Houston? Pierce?
Yep.
He's clearly behind Pierce. He's clearly behind whoever the other dude is. So, yeah, I think he's the perfect preseason guy because he's not needed as much regular season. I just think he's going to crush. So he's my only Houston guy, I think, though.
All right, on JSC, what are you doing here with Perkins? I mean, we did see some situations like this last year with McVay talking about doing this, and then Perkins just comes out and plays the whole game every game last year. I mean,
I wouldn't be shocked if it happened again, to be honest.
Again, those coaches, they already know what they have in certain guys. So when they say like, "Oh, Wolford's going to play a half" or whatever, yeah, that's what they're planning. But plans change if you see the guy come out, like Tony said, and maybe he drives them down twice, and they have scoring drives twice in a row. And he ends the quarter, and who knows? Maybe they just say, "Let's end him right here on a good note," pulls him out, and boom, like the next guy comes in. So you just don't really know. I mean, Perkins for me is definitely my number 1 guy, and I think he's going to be lower owned too. Like, I don't think he's going to be as highly owned, which is another thing, just because obviously he's not playing the full game. He's definitely not playing the full game, but he's going to play a half for sure. Maybe he plays a little more. Who knows? But, definitely a half. And I just like that I can lock him in with 2 of these 3 receivers and just run it. Like, it's easy for me. Like, I don't know why we're, personally playing other guys outside of like Jordan Love. Like, I just think the Rams are the spot to play quarterback. If not the Rams, then Green Bay. Don't mess around with it.
So one thing for you donkeys, because I just read this. So Andy Dalton's not going to play. I don't know how you don't play Ian Book. Like,
I thought Dalton was going to get a drive or 2.
Because when he goes 10 for 23 with 100 yards and 0 touchdowns and 1 interception and 30 yards rushing.
The only other quarterback is Costello, and he's the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Bad.
Playing the Packers.
He's literally the worst I've ever seen. So, like,
is Ian Book supposed to play? How much is Ian Book supposed to play?
Just him and Costello, from what I see.
So like a half or like 3/4.
I think he plays like 3/4, and Costello plays the 4th. That's what I think personally.
So personally, I think Perkins and Jordan Love are good enough where even though they're playing maybe one less quarter, they're still just better plays. And we've seen this before in preseason where guys play full games and don't outscore guys who play a half. So I don't know. It's I get what you're saying though. It's like, I want to play the guy that's going to play the longest, and Ian Book is going to play the longest. So I get why he's in play for you, or you like him the most. I just think he's not as good. And so I'm going to play the guys that are better and take my chances with 1 less quarter.
Yeah, I'm with JSU on that. He had 2 turnovers last week, Book, against the Texans, and I think the Packers defense is a little better. I'm going to be on the Packers defense now. Well, with the Patriots, I was just going to lock the Patriots, but I think I'm going to play a little bit of Packers defense there as well.
Is Ian Book going to be popular? Like, how popular is he?
Hopefully. Last week he was.
Yeah. Now with Dalton possibly out, Yeah, he'll
I
probably
should
go
play the
more
Packers D. Snyder's right. Just
Uh,
go all
that's
in
what I'm
on
doing.
it. Just
Yeah.
go all in
Here's
on
here's
it.
what I'm doing. I'm playing book with Packers D.
Yeah, that's always my
There you go.
preseason move.
I don't
It's
mind
the best
that.
preseason move. You play the running shitty quarterback versus the defense. It's the
I think you could do that with Jordan Love on the
Yeah.
other side. He threw 3 picks last game. You could still play
Yeah.
defenses against them. Like,
For
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, Costello's so bad, man.
he's literally the worst ever.
Oh.
like he's so bad.
God,
How's
He
he in the
made
league?
Ian Book look
USFL
like
was
Joe
bad.
Montana. Like
Joe
yeah.
Montana. Oh, God.
Bruce, what are you liking from the running backs on this side? Big T kind of hit on Freeman. I'm definitely high
I
on
gave
Freeman.
all I'm gonna go do baseball. I gave all my
All right.
thoughts. You
All
guys
right.
are good with
All right,
me.
thanks a lot for
Let's
joining us,
ship
Big
tonight.
T.
Talk to
Yep,
you.
thanks a lot. See you later.
take Ian
So-
Book out of your lineup.
Bruce, what are you liking here with the running backs? And we got Freeman, and then Callis and Rose looks to be the better options on the other team. What are you liking here?
Yeah, I was reading some up on the Rams, and I read that looks like Funk could have one of the spots sewed up since he plays special teams. So possibly could be what is it? How do you say his name? Calais and Regis could be fighting for that last spot. It's crazy because they both went to the same school too at the same time, and they're both solid running backs. So I don't hate one of those guys, but yeah, I'm pretty much staying away. I like the Green Bay and New Orleans backs a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. JSU, what's standing out to you here? Are you high on Royce Freeman as well? And then anything from the other side of the team for you?
Yeah, Royce Freeman is the only back outside of the New Orleans Green Bay backs that I'm probably going to look to play. So, because I do really like the backfields from both New Orleans and Green Bay. And I think the rule that Kurt set up where he's playing at least 1-1 from that game is good. But Royce Freeman would be the guy outside of that game that I definitely have interest in for sure. Outside of that, for Houston, I don't think I'm playing anybody else from here. I'm not on the wide receivers, and I'm not on any quarterbacks. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not really on anything else besides Royce Freeman from Houston.
Kurt, any thoughts from you at the running back position in this game before we dive into the heavily owned wide receivers, I think?
Yeah, so Freeman for single entry stuff, high on him and MME too. But if you're doing 150, I don't mind going some Pierce. I mean, they're literally obsessed with the kid. He probably only sees a drive or maybe 1 to 3 drives at most. But if you want to throw a dart, I don't mind that because the kids look amazing, can catch passes too. For LA, I don't think you should play any of these running backs in single entry. But for MME, well, if Bruce is correct, which I'm sure he is, and Funk doesn't see much playing time today, you're looking at 3 guys splitting it up: Rose, Ragas, and Calais. Don't mind throwing a dart at one of them either. But I'm sticking to the main rules for single entry stuff. But like I said, if you're MME in, take a shot on one of the LA guys.
For sure. Now we can dive into the receivers in this game. I think there's going to be a lot of interest, at least in the Rams receivers. I don't really see too much interest in the Texans, but these Rams receivers look excellent here. You got McCutcheon, who I think is going to be probably the highest owned receiver on the slate. 6 targets last week, 5 catches, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns for him. Trammell had 4 targets, 3 catches for 27 yards. We've got Scott Akers. We got Akers on as well. And I don't know if Koski's going to play or not. It doesn't sound like he's going to play last I heard. We've got Bryson Hopkins is a tight end too on the Rams. Maybe that's the guy that Bruce was talking about. Either that or Brevin Jordan. I'm not sure which. I'll kick it to you here first, JSU. What's your favorite Rams receiver in this, or how would you rank these Rams receivers for you?
Yeah, I mean, I liked Lance last week. No one was on him. It stinks because he's definitely going to be the most popular, but they're all going to be popular. They're all going to get ownership. I do think if you're in large field tournaments and you're trying to be different, fading him and playing the other 2 is probably a way you could get some leverage because I do think he's the highest owned of the 3. I also think he's the best of the 3, though. So that's the thing. But it's preseason. You know, I'm in for all these guys. Trammell, Akers, just it seems like they're going to play along with the tight end. So like you said, maybe you can pull a tight end out as well, but I'm just going to stick to the receivers in this game. I'm going to play 2 of 3 on every lineup probably. You could play all 3 though. Like I don't like despise that honestly, because if you play all 3, let's just say 2 of them have 10 plus fantasy points somehow, right? Like then you don't have to worry about which 2. You get those 2, and you might have the winner with just those 2. You know what I mean? You might just, rank highly. Maybe you don't win the super large field tournament, but you're going to be up high in the cash if you got the 2 wide receivers that go off from the Rams, if they go off. And I'm assuming you play the quarterback from the Rams who gets them the ball. So I think that's not a terrible strategy if you just want to go all in on the Rams situation here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely arm in arm with you there. Bruce, how would you rank these Rams receivers for you here?
Yeah, I start with McCutcheon, number 1. He just looked so good last week. I did fall asleep the second half, so I didn't see much of that. But I did see him in the first half, and he looked solid. And then I'd go Trammell and then Akers. Akers as my last guy.
For sure. Is a tight end in this game? Was that Bryson Hopkins, the guy you were looking at as your favorite tight end, or was it Brevin Jordan?
No, actually, like a little sneaky guy here, Roger Carter Jr.
Okay. From
where'd you go? Georgia Southern, yeah. Oh, Georgia State, yeah. He looked really good when he played in college, and he might be the most athletic tight end on the slate. So I like him, and they're going to be short at tight end too. Depending on, I see people saying that Jacob Harris could play, and he's been kind of rotating between wide receiver and tight end. So he could also be a sneaky play if we get news late that he's playing.
So Roger Carter, he would play definitely with Perkins, right? Most likely.
Yeah, he's a second half guy.
All right, I'm in. Sold.
Perfect. That's definitely a good option there in that tight end position that we're looking to gamble on. So love that call there, Bruce. Definitely going to add him to my player pool this week. Kurt, what do you like in here with the receivers here? How would you rank these Rams wide receivers?
Same as anyone else. I mean, you definitely I think you have to have 2 of them, if not 3, but definitely 2. McCutcheon, I'll go then Trammell, and then Akers. Akers looked actually. I'm gonna go Akers over Trammell just because no one's gonna play Akers because I don't think he recorded a stat last week.
No, he got a couple targets, I think, but no stats.
So I love the idea of definitely playing one of these Rams tight ends because they're going to be so short-handed receiver. They're going to have to run some 2 wide receiver sets with one of the tight ends in the slot. So I think, and everyone's going to be like, well, I already have 2 Rams receivers or 3. I don't want to play their tight end also. Yes, you do. They're going to be so short-handed. These guys are going to be getting some targets and stuff. So I think having one of the Rams tight ends would be super clutch as well. Hopkins or Carter for me. I had a little bit of Carter. I bumped him up just now after Bruce gave his little take on it. So that's my opinion on that. And Houston receivers for deep MME, Chris Moore.
Okay, yeah, I like him. He used to play at the Ravens. I could see getting on board with him. Kind of a deep play threat there. I could get on board with that. Looking through here, Johnny Johnson III, maybe a guy. He didn't see much work last week. He was that wide receiver out of Oregon. Bruce is probably pretty familiar with him. Any thoughts on him, Bruce?
Yeah, I think it's him or Jalen Camp. Both of those guys supposedly have looked good. So, yeah, I don't mind that at all.
So let's just do like a little recap here for defenses. I think we've pretty much gave all our thoughts on running backs, quarterbacks, receivers. Is everybody kind of in lockstep with like the Saints and the Patriots as their top 2 defenses, or any different thoughts there? Bruce, I'll start with you here.
Yeah, I like New Orleans or Green Bay number 1, and then the Patriots. Yep.
Packers and JSU.
Me and Bruce are arm in arm on this slate. We got Green Bay and the Patriots. So I'm
right there with you guys as well. So hopefully we can be arm in arm. Kurt, are you arm in arm with us?
I am. I like to be different, but I am. Same.
Let's go.
Absolutely. You love to see it.
Do it.
Yeah, if you haven't joined over at Run Pure, I know this is a free show. If you haven't joined the site, make sure to head over there. Use the promo code NFL15. That's going to get you 15% off your membership for life. That's going to include SaberSim, our wonderful optimizer product where you can import, export, set your percentages, do a whole bunch of stuff over there, set your exposures, what you want. Late ad stuff. You can it all has the late ad feature where you can rebuild your stuff. The late swap stuff, all that stuff. We have all our core plays and player pools incorporated in the SaberSim as well. You'll be able to see JSU's core plays on there is a player pool too as we get into NFL season. College football starting up too. We got the GOAT Bruce. He's going to be heading the CFB product, so we'll have that coming up. MLB's full swing. Everything's going. All sports, one price. PGA's winding down, and then the fall swing will start. We got the NBA firing up too. So this is the best chance ever to get in on this promo code. It's going to end here soon, and the prices are going to go up as we're going to start adding to the already strong team, it sounds like. So jump over, join the movement, use that promo code NFL15, and then run pure with us. Bruce, any final thoughts for you here as we end this show?
No, I'm just looking forward to it. Just gonna have a couple spots for the late game and probably hopefully wake up to some money here like I did last week. So
definitely
early bedtime season
for sure. JSU, any final thoughts for you as we wrap this up?
No, yeah, I think we gave pretty clear thoughts on how we thought this slate's going to go, and hopefully everyone runs pure tonight.
Yeah,
unless you're big team playing Ian Book.
Hey, I'm playing Ian Book too now. Let's keep the streak going. The preseason's been awesome. I know we got other sports going on, MLB stuff, but don't be afraid to throw some more in preseason. Let's keep this here going and run pure.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to split the two slates up tomorrow. There's going to be an early slate and a main slate. I think we'll probably have another video for the main slate though tomorrow. So make sure to check out. It'll either be on the Run Pure Sports channel or this channel if nothing's going on. But we'll make sure to try and get a show out again to you guys so we'll have the core plays and the playbook up as well. So head on over to Run Pure Sports, like I said earlier. But I think that's going to do it for us this week for this slate. For Bruce, for Kurt, for JSU, I'm Snyder. Thanks a lot for joining us, and always run pure.